I've got it. This is the biggest ego trap on this freedom path as you transform your consciousness that you're quite likely still falling for. So we're going to dive into this today. It makes me laugh a little bit, you know, this idea of I've got it. It's like, cool, what have you got? I almost made a really inappropriate joke about an infection, but we won't diminish this with any such stuff. So what have we got? I've got it, or I've lost it, or something. What does this mean? It implies that I've got something, isn't it? It implies I'm standing somewhere. I'm standing somewhere inside of myself. I've labeled this experience and I've claimed it and I've got it. But of course, when we're standing somewhere, naturally, if we're standing on top of something, we've always got somewhere to fall, don't we? And in this sense, if we've always got somewhere to fall, what happens naturally when we fall? It tends to hurt. So we're still buying into the idea of separateness, isn't it? I've got it, I've lost it. But really, what have we got and what have we lost? Because that which we always are is always present. So am I identifying with things that change? Am I identifying with an experience? And if I am I creating strong preferences or strong dislikes for certain experiences which lead me to act in a certain way to try and gain more of this experience? Let me get high. Or get less of this experience. I don't want to go low. But of course, naturally in life, there are highs and lows. And so what is it that we can do to help ourselves, to assist ourselves? Because this is a trap of the mind, isn't it? And there's nothing wrong with the mind. The mind is a wonderful tool, but a horrendous master. It will allow us to chase after whatever, you know, any sorts of attachments, and of course then try and stay away from certain things that we don't really prefer. But in doing this, we're still bound in this ever-changing world of I've got it, I've lost it, I'm something, I'm nothing. I feel good, I don't feel good. It's all just identification, isn't it, with a certain form. Whatever that form is, it might be a high rush of energy. It's still a form in our consciousness, but there's something in you deeper that observes the drifting clouds of form that continue to change. Somebody wrote a comment on the video yesterday. They sarcastically said, what we needed was more hand movements. And I've just sat there observing myself as these hands move and gone, yeah, I get what he means. But hey ho, this is what you're in for. And another one, if you're with me, you know, eccentric, fun, hopefully, I don't know. But it doesn't always have to be fun. It just has to be real. Because what we're trying to move ourselves away from in this community is from ideals to real. Ideal implies mind, doesn't it? Ideology, puritanical views. And we know they're dangerous for ourselves because as soon as we have an ideal, we have somewhere to fall from when I'm not living up to that ideal. It's just an ego trap. And so, in a way, if we think we've got it, then all we've got is entangled with another thought, which isn't hugely profound. And it's not as if to say that all of life is going to be profound, because that's just not a reasonable expectation to stand on. Because of course, naturally, we're going to fall from that too. But what can become profound is the mundane. The mundane stuff that we seemingly want to avoid all of the time. It can become profound because of that divine essence that I am, that can observe the mundane and profound, but is profound in itself because first of all, it's here experiencing experiences. The question I have for you is, can you stand nowhere? Is it possible? Well, if I stand nowhere, let me give you some benefits. If I stand nowhere, then do I have anywhere to fall from? No. But also the question then is, do I have anything to gain? And the answer is also No. And as we take that question then deeper, is this life even mine? Because it feels to the identity, doesn't it, that this life is mine. I'm the actor. I'm the one that's doing all of this stuff, all of the hand movements or whatever. Oh, Mexican wave, look at me go. But when we see that the mind is just a thought, can a thought control a body? No. Can a thought have will of its own? No. And so, in this sense, can I stand nowhere in relationship to all thinking that happens? Because really it has no relevance to the beingness, to the presence that I am. It only has the relevance to that beingness that I give it. Is it in control? No, it isn't. And when I try and control life through the mind, does it work? Well, you'll have to find out for yourself, isn't it? But my answer is, no, it doesn't. The only way we can really begin to shift our life is by getting into our energy, isn't it? Because the life energies can begin to take control, but there's not really a me acting or doing the energies. There's certainly a sense of willpower that's required to develop the discipline. So here's the paradox, really, isn't it? Who's doing that? Well, for this, we have to dive deeper, isn't it? More so than we can do on the YouTube. And if you're interested in that, then by all means, you can sign up for the Freedom Blueprint down below. That's a paid product. Or if you have no budget, it's all good. We're into serving everybody on every budget here. So this is free. But also you can sign up for the Freedom Toolkit. It will give you a little starter pack with some sadhana, some mindset training. It's not made yet, but it's down below and you'll be the first one to receive it once it is, should you wish to sign up for it. It's completely free. So, if you can stand nowhere inside of yourself, then truly, then, and only then, have you really got it. Because then you are it. And until that point, we haven't really got anything much, apart from an identity that's consistently changing and living in this changeful world, which is one hell of a roller coaster and comes with great charges, but also comes with great lows. And this is perfectly fine to live a life like this, but it's not conducive to 1, freedom, and 2, well-being. And so if we can finally stand nowhere in ourselves and be nothing to as everything happens around us, then we've really finally got it. So long as we don't start claiming that nothingness as a thing that I've got, because then we're falling for that same ego trap again. But at least that ego trap is one of the final ego traps that we might experience. The ego trap of being nothing. Because we can form an identity around that too. Oh, look, I'm nothing now. Let me be nothing in everything, rather than just being nothing and having nothing and owning none of this. All of this is a gift, isn't it? But we must give it back. Can't take it with you. And so, am I really the owner of anything? The answer is no. No, not really. So we might as well stay deeply entrenched in our observer, in our eternal witness capacity, as the Shakti of life begins to play and move the arms of Jamie. Or whatever. Because then this whole life experience can become a vacation or a holiday. Not needing to get involved too much as we just become the observer or the audience to our own play. We are both equally. I hope this video helps you. Lots of love. Namaste.